Hey guys, welcome back to Sow Love. I am glad you are here with me today. We are out here in the garden, and tonight we are expecting temperatures at 30 degrees. So I wanted to give you some tips on just protecting things that you might have planted out or things that are in bloom, seedlings, things like that. So I am right here in front of my blueberry bushes. I've already covered this one with some blue tarp, and so I'm gonna go ahead and cover this one as well. So the main thing, because this has started to bloom, I want to protect those blooms and protect that fruit, and hopefully actually taste some blueberries this year. So if these had not gone to bloom, or even if perhaps this was like the second or third year, I wouldn't worry about covering them. But because they are in their first year and they're also bearing fruit blooms, I'm going to go ahead and cover them with some tarp. So what I'm going to do is cover them and it's pretty windy, so I have some bricks out here just to help to keep the tarp down. Brick there. Another brick there. So that one should be good to go. I've already done this one. It's weighted down with some bricks already, so I'm going to do the last one. Also there, that should be good. I actually also have some zinnias planted back there, and there's an artichoke that's back there as well, so the tarp will help to cover that. So that should be good to go on those. So let's take a look around and see what else we need to cover. So things in the garden, like my clematis, which of course that's a perennial, it does have a bloom on it. So I took some leaves and I just mulched it real good with some leaves, and that should be good to go in there. And anything like, you know, perennial wise that I planted out or that's come up, I've covered. Things that are frost hardy, like your spinach, your brassicas and things like that that you might still have out, I wouldn't worry about covering those just because those are frost hardy. Now if I was getting into like the teens or the low 20s, I probably would put a cover on these, but not worried about those. Not worried about the carrots, because like I said, we're just going to 30. I am going to cover this right here. So I have this bag of leaves that I actually collected from one of my neighbors. They had raked their yard, and I collected their leaves. So if you have been following me long enough, if you're on my Instagram channel, you know that I do stop and pick up things that I need or find interesting. So I'm gonna take these leaves and just build a nice layer of protection on those. And it is kind of windy, so I'm going to put a few extra right there, because the wind is inevitable that those will blow off. This chrysanthemum it does bloom, and you know, it's actually you see it in the fall, so it's cold hardy. But I am going to go ahead and put some leaves on it just in case. That's one that I brought with me from my old garden. And if you didn't know that mums are perennials, don't throw your mums out. Start saving them. You can put them in pots, plant them back out when you need to, or you can leave them in that spot and plant around it. All right, so that should be good. I'm just gonna carry my bag of leaves around with me. Some things I've already done. The herbs, for the most part, those should be fine, like your oregano, your thyme, marjoram, sage. Those should all be fine. I did cover one herb that I just planted out this year. This is the stevia plant, which I am gonna cover that. Can't remember what this is. Oh, this was the feverfew, I believe. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover the stevia. And again, be fairly liberal with this leaf mulch. And you know, you can easily put this back in the bag later on. I'd actually saved these bags. I was trying to make some leaf mold to put in my garden in the fall. And so leaf mold is something that is a great soil builder. It helps to keep moisture. So I have a few bags, you know, that I'm trying to create some leaf mold for to add to my beds in the fall. But in the meantime, they're also serving another purpose. So the basil plant that I had planted, I actually pulled it all out. I left a little small one there just to see how it would do mulch. So that's my test baby. Y'all, prayers for my basil. I do have some seedlings planted, and of course the rest of it's in a pot. So we'll see how it does. All right, that should be good there. I'll go ahead and put some mulch on this fennel. My husband got me some new garden shoes, guys. Y'all like these? I really like the colors. The thicker sole. A lot more comfortable when I don't necessarily want to wear my garden boots. But those are my new garden shoes. All right, so those are good. The onions should be fine. I'm not going to cover those. If my strawberry blooms were loaded with fruit, I would go ahead and cover these, but I'm not going to worry about them. These little tight blooms like this will be fine. What you're more so worried about is the fruit. So all my strawberry plants right now have tight blooms or no fruit or no blooms. So I'm not going to worry about the strawberry plants. So that's for the most part all for the garden. The peas, those are cold tolerant, so I'm not going to worry about covering those. Let me show you what I did with the other berries. So this is a new blackberry bush that I planted, and you can see it's covered under this bucket. So I'm just going to gently pull it away because I don't want to take it all out, but underneath you can see it's nice and safe, nice and cozy on there. I will come and put a brick on top. The potato baskets have been moved into the greenhouse. These I just planted out, so I'm not going to worry about those. Those will be totally fine. These are blackberries that I brought with me, and these will be fine because again they don't have any fruit. I will put a little more mulch on top of this new growth here, and actually I'm probably going to end up cutting this old wood off, so that way you can put more energy into these new babies that are coming up. So these are 2 raspberries, which you can see are under a bucket, and then my grapevine, I tucked in and put under this bucket as well. So there's a peek under that bucket. Hopefully you can see the grapevine, nice and cozy under there. So that's for the most part all that I've done out here in the garden. I had some leaves on this oxalis plant, which I don't know if I'm saying that right. The wind probably blew those off. I'll put a thicker layer on those. And let me show you what's going on in the greenhouse. Oh, before we go in there, let me show you. This is corn. So I just took a extra bag and put it across there. And of course, y'all, you know, if it gets hot and if you're using black bags, you want to come out the next day and uncover it so the sun doesn't burn the plants to a crisp. So keep that in mind too. This is my peony that I showed you guys that I was looking for in my garden that I found. So I did mulch it with some leaves. I'm gonna add a few more. I did this yesterday, and so you'll find that plants will find the sun. So the wind has probably blown some of these things off too, but they also stretch out and find the sun. So you always want to come out and check just to make sure your plants are still covered. So going to the greenhouse now. This is another bed that I covered right outside the greenhouse. And I'll come in and add a few more layers on top of here. This is my kids' experimental garden. So we had some zucchini and stuff coming up. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I know that was a risk planting those out. But again, you know, it's not fun if you're not experimenting, right? So we'll mulch that a little bit heavier, and I'll do a follow-up video on how this stuff did also. So in the greenhouse, I brought the potatoes in here, and it's really a whole lot warmer in here than it is out there. So these will be fine for the night, but any potatoes that had the green growth on them, I did go ahead and bring in the greenhouse. I brought the Jerusalem artichoke in here, the oca in here, my daughter's fairy garden in here, the pawpaw trees, just because I'll probably end up selling those, maybe keeping one, but I brought those in here as well. Y'all see my terrarium that I did the other day. That's going to stay in here until the weekend. And then all my seedlings that have not come up yet, along with the comfrey, can stay out here in the greenhouse. So those will be fine out here. So let's go take a look at the fruit trees, because I did put some bags on those. All right, so here we are at the fruit trees, and if this had not been their first year planted out, I probably would not have covered them, but because this is their first year, like, none of them have fruit on them yet, but they do have leaves on them, and they're just getting established in the ground. I went on ahead and took some precautions. So the bags from your compost, and if you collect bags like leaf bags in black trash bags, or if you just have some extra ones, use those or start saving a few for times when you need them. So this was a mushroom compost bag. So I covered this is the pomegranate tree. This is the goji berry bush, I believe. So I weighed it down with one of the maple cuttings that I had, and a brick. The mulberry I'm not going to worry about, just because it doesn't have any leaves on it. And technically that I brought with me from my old house, and it has fruited before, so I'm not too worried about that one. This is the fig. I put a few extra bricks on that one. And the nectarine tree, the peach tree. What tree is this? The plum. Probably getting them mixed up. This is the pear tree right here, and then I need to come back over here with some bricks. This is, I believe, the plum cot. So that is the state of the yard. Not the prettiest thing right now, but the trees, you know, I just want to give them an extra chance because they are new to the family. So let me show you guys what's going on in the garage, because all the seedlings that I had I actually put in the garage. So here are the different seedlings, and even some of the things that I winter sowed that are like just getting established. I went out and brought in the garage just in case. But I'm pretty sure those would probably be fine. So these are all the things that I started from seed. They are safely tucked in the garage. They're nice and warm. I'm sure they're ready to get back in the sun, which they will do on this weekend. So that was definitely a experience, bringing all these things in. Me and my husband brought these things in, so that was a lot of hauling and back and forth, but you know, garden life, hashtag garden life, that's how it goes sometimes. So if you're in the southeast like I am, y'all know I'm in zone 7B. Tell me in the comments what you're doing to prepare for the cold temperatures tonight. Have you already gone and protected things? Have you brought things inside? Are you just kind of gonna let nature take its course and see what happens? Let me know in the comments what tips you might want to share with everyone. So I hope you guys are doing well. Happy gardening. Happy spring. Don't plant anything out that is summer hardy until around April 15th, or if you Google your zip code and you type in my last frost date, or what is my last frost date, and you put in your zip code, you'll definitely find it out there. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.